Okay. Well, I think we're live. I think that's how you do things.
Huh.
There we go.
Trying to keep these dogs from barking.
How'd you make out with removing all that stuff?
It's gone well. Hang on a second. I'm gonna lock this little puppy up.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
everything set. I got everything deleted, redone. So everything appears to be working
Oh, perfect.
well.
Awesome.
There was a couple custom values that were not. I didn't see where to put
Okay.
in the settings,
Which
so I just
ones?
went into the custom value. I found the custom value that was pulling the image, and then went in there and just put an image uh, link to the
Which
image.
one was that for?
The rewards thing. You want me to share?
Yeah, if you want to let me know, and then I can at least fix it if it's not showing in the custom values or something.
All right. Yeah, that's great. Let me use my computer too. Okay. Okay, where do I? So let me go here to. Probably went to the wrong page on that. Okay, so got all that set up. Yeah, this. So the header, whatever the header image was supposed to be, wasn't showing. So I just took it out.
Oh, okay.
I know that's not a big deal.
Weird. Okay. I think it was just it might have just been your logo was supposed to be in there.
Well, the logo's at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Oh, it might have been.
Uh,
Yeah, okay. Might have been the rewards. I'm gonna go check.
what is the commercial rewards portal?
So we in some of our we're not really using that in here, but it's like so we do have the system built so that you can have two different point values for giving rewards. And when we originally built it, and it's not used really, probably no one really even uses it anymore. But the idea was that you could have just like residential customers, and then you could have commercial customers, and then just like your residential ones would get a different point value for
Okay.
referrals than your commercial ones, because if you had a commercial partner that's, let's say you had a complementary business that would
Hmm.
send you customers and you wanted to give them points for them sending you customers, you could give them the client that I had wanted to give them less points because of the volume that they could send, kind of
Okay.
thing.
I
So
got you.
what the agency was working with, who for that feature, was they had a customer who was trying to get like local influencers to
Hmm.
sell their carpet cleaning services, and they would go and give them a free carpet cleaning, and then they'd use their referral link to sign up new customers. But because they're just basically posting it on social media and doing like viral stuff or whatever locally, they didn't want to give them the same points value that you would give like a current customer of yours who might only refer like two or three people over their lifetime, if they do. whereas the other one could potentially send hundreds. So that's just what that was. That's what it is. I mean, it can, you can still use it, but it's just I don't think anybody else actually does use it.
So there was a square over here. I don't know if this is one I fixed. Yeah, I just uploaded a picture. I don't know what was supposed to be there, but I've just put my logo there.
Um, yeah, basically the logo. They're like the company logo, not your logo, but like they're in the custom values in our backend. There's the powered by logo, which is your
Mhm.
logo, and then there's the business logo, the reward
Okay.
business logo, and that's what shows up there. So if you're
Okay.
doing if you're just doing it for yourself and using it as like a demo or whatever, then
Yeah.
it would be the same logo.
Okay.
Whereas if you had a if you had a customer and you want to have your own little like powered by Digital Red Zone at the bottom and then their logo where it says Digital Red Zone here, that's what that would be. So if you just scroll down on here, there's you'll see so that's the powered by logo, and then the other
Powered
one
by. Okay.
is and then the other one is the business logo.
Okay. Huh, I wonder why I didn't pull through. It's just as easy to pop it in there. It's no big deal.
It's just it's easy for you. It's easy for some people. You know what I mean? But um, for some people, it's not. So I try to make it as streamlined as possible without having people to go in and edit the funnel pages.
Mhm.
Because yeah, we're just trying to for you'd be surprised that there's a lot of people who um start their agency and they're really good at sales or something, right? They're really good at networking, or they're coming from some different industry and they're not really good at the technical side of things, or editing funnels and doing that kind of stuff that they have to learn, but
Yeah.
just kind of get things started. It's easier if we can just populate all that stuff through custom values, and then if you want to change things later, then you
Okay. With the automations,
can.
is there anything I need? I have to get through that side of the training, so I'll wait to ask anything about that. But I just saw all these automations. It's like, all right, well, what do I do with these things?
Again, you don't really have to do anything because they have them all set up.
Okay.
So there's nobody else on the call here today anyway. It's just you and I. So let's jump into anything that you want to chat about. Okay, so these automations, they should pretty much all be set up so that you don't have to change anything.
Okay.
Everything will run from the point of somebody getting joining like the VIP program
Hmm.
to joining the rewards program. Every time they were earn points and stuff like that, they're going to get all their messages and everything like that. The only thing where you would want, where you may have to change things if you want to use it, is the reward tier automations. That one there is for in our leaderboard there in our dashboard is where it's you can create different reward tiers, and then we
Hmm.
have the automations in here as example of how to set it up so that when somebody, like, let's say you had paid memberships,
Yeah.
somebody joins a paid membership, how does that whole workflow? So if somebody pays, cancels, or they renew, or like
Hmm.
their payment renews, I think if you go click on the add charge remove recharge remove tier, there's like a change that needs to happen there when you do it. And the reason why we have that is because you could have multiple tiers, and here's like the workflow for one of those tiers. Now, what you have to change at the top is like your triggers for like what subscriptions people signed up for, or which ones they canceled, or
Okay.
whichever. And then over on the right hand side under subscription active, I believe we have where we update a custom value or a custom field with the ID of the subscription that they're on. So there's some training on that, but there's a little
Okay.
bit of little bit of work on if you're gonna do that and you want to automate your membership subscriptions for those different tiers,
Okay.
then you can edit this one. There's a couple other ones. Like again, we get you can go and you can customize this to however you want. So not just this one, but if you go back to workflows, even
I'm pretty familiar with all this stuff, so I can get
yeah.
in
So if
there.
you go back, so those are all pretty much just examples. We do have another folder that's just called examples, and then it shows you like a give points webhook. So if you created a different automation in your system where you wanted to give people points for
Hmm.
doing something, um, you can create a workflow then use that webhook and send it over, and it'll give that customer points. What else is there? Just click back for a second. Let's just. What else is there under workflows? The only other thing that I know well, I don't have in here, but other people we've created on these calls is kind of like a recurring message that automatically goes out, say like every Monday.
That's
Um,
what I was going to ask if that was in there or not. I'll create it on my own. I can create an automated message, just tag them. They can. I can
yeah,
make them
so
all get tagged.
we usually do like well, we'll usually do two different workflows, one for the message that goes out and then one that's a wait. And the reason why we just do two different workflows is because if you just have one and then say send people, do a go to back to the start,
Hmm.
eventually high level will say that it's like loop locked and it'll cancel your workflow for you.
Oh,
So
great.
so it's a good practice when you're doing when you want to do a loop like that, say, hey, we're
Mhm.
going to send every Monday, then do one workflow with your message in it,
Okay.
and then a wait step at the start that says,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to wait till Monday at say 8 a.m. And then
Yeah.
the other one, it sends over to the other workflow and then has like a wait 24 hours and then sends back to the first workflow. And the reason why we do 24 hours is because if you say, I want to send messages between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Monday,
Yeah.
and you send people over to the second workflow and you say only like wait for a second or whatever, it'll
Hmm.
send back to the other one and send a message again, which you don't want
Oh,
to do.
no, you
So
don't want.
I do that for all of our reminders and everything. And the kind of best practice for that is to do two different workflows and cycle customers through there with wait steps. Versus doing one with a go-to at the bottom that sends you back up to the top with a wait step, because high level will eventually block you. And like I mean, I think our reminders for the high level for these tech calls that go out every Tuesday and Thursday. I have two different sets of workflows, and those have been going for like 3 years without any
All right.
issue.
Yeah, I would like to at least have a monthly reminder, at least on this one, just saying, hey,
Yeah,
check out your leaderboard or whatever.
yeah, and then so there's depending on how like you want to do things, like you can set up whatever workflows to get customers in, or um, to to automate things once if you have a list of customers already, or
Yeah.
whatever you want to do, or setting stuff up for like the demo and automations and stuff like that too. So you have access to all the things there. Um, but there's not much that you have to change. But there are some workflows that you can edit or use as well, like under the VIP outreach. Um, we have no, it's not the VIP outreach one. It is like we also have it in here. You can expire coupons and do stuff like that too. VIP restaurant
So,
outreach.
like this
All
check-in funnel page for
yeah,
what for just for the tablet, is that?
yeah. So what that one does is if you have a tablet at the restaurants, people can walk up and they can punch their phone number in,
Hmm.
and based on their phone number, or it will then give them points for checking in at the restaurant
Okay.
or the business.
Does this? I guess we could. I'm trying to think. Getting people to save the thing to their phone, where they just save the. I guess it would be the
I was gonna, yeah, you know, that was something that was on my list here too, is save to desktop, like save to your uh
It saves it to your device. That way they've got it.
oh yeah, you know what, yeah, so you can I don't know if we can, I think we can do that. Can we just do a button that allows you to save the web page to the thing? What I wanted to, what's on my list here as well is to create. We have we have the funnels on here, but I'm also
Hmm.
going to create a version where we have the funnels just on our server. They're the same funnels. You can change the images and stuff like that, but formatting stays pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I think it'll just make it a little bit faster for deploying as well. So when you go to set it up, you don't have to go and add in all the URLs and stuff um, for it. But then I think we can also do like a progressive web app with it too. So you can
That's what I was.
say,
That's because that's the question I got. They're like, is it an app they put on their phone? How do they?
yeah. So with what I'm thinking the other way, with where we have the web page hosted on our server, and then it loads the promotions and everything in there. Then we can do a progressive web app, which is essentially just takes a browser,
Yeah.
takes a yeah a website and creates a little app out of it on your phone, just
Yep.
with a shell. Um, but we were trying to do that with high level, and I created the PWA, but we couldn't. I couldn't get the CSS to work properly because we had the funnel posted on high level, and we wanted to grab that and make PWA out of it, kind of thing, using an iframe from our
Hmm.
server. The problem that we had was the CSS for high level, when we brought it in through an iframe, it would only do desktop, and it wouldn't do. We couldn't get it to trigger the mobile version of the site, which is what we want to do, which we want to show. So high level, you would get it and it would load on your phone and you create a PWA on your phone, but then it would only be the desktop version of the site, and then it was like really small and tiny on your phone. So uh, it wasn't ideal. So next step, that's what I'm thinking here.
Okay.
High level was supposed to come out of. I know they mentioned it like 2 years ago, saying they were going to make a way to create PWAs from funnels. But I wonder if that was mainly for the like the portal and like the courses and stuff like that. And then they came
Yeah.
out with their own, branded app or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's just a pain in the butt. I mean, it's cool because it would be cool to have an app and be able to send push notifications. I mean, that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. And I think we could do that with the PWA. I think we can do send notifications. I don't know if we can do that. I think it's a little bit harder to do on high level, but that's why I'm thinking maybe we can do it if we have a standalone app, standalone web page on our server, and then kind of like what we have with that 5 stars dot review for the review system. Uh,
Hmm.
do something like that with a generic kind of gray label domain. And then we're looking into how we can do like kind of a C name type thing the same way
Yeah,
as like high level and stuff do. So you can create your own C name and plug it in.
yeah. So what pay like if somebody says, "Well, how do I get back to this?" Which funnel are they going back to look at
If
the
they're going back
rewards?
to like their promotions, then it's under the VIP promotions funnels and pages.
Okay.
Um, they'll have a link in uh, they'll have a link in their SMS and in their email. I'll take a
Okay.
look at save to desktop and see if we can even do that effectively with high level the way it is now too. Uh,
Well, I'm even thinking if I just if I take that subdomain I did and throw a one page website and I can embed things on there.
yeah,
And
that's yeah. So when you embed, I found that when you embed the funnel in another page, then
Mhm.
that's where high level was only showing the desktop version.
Oh, really? Of the funnels?
That's what I was having a problem with because I could get it to work. We could create the PWA, but it was only showing um the desktop version, not the mobile version. And I
Well,
wanted
I
to
could
make
also create a button on that and then just have it linked straight to the funnel. Say, check your
yeah,
points.
yeah. So you can do that. I'll take a look at what else you can do here too. If you take a look at what you're thinking, and then
Yeah,
we'll meet up
I
on.
can use that subdomain, and they can just save it. You know, Apple's really easy. You just save any link you want as a
Yeah,
as
and
a
on
you know.
Chrome, you do the same kind of thing. You can click in the top right corner and just say save to desktop.
Yeah.
Um, Java. So JavaScript save to desk. It's not desktop. It's called home screen. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll look into it. I've got some options here. Easily add a website to your iOS, Android, desktop, home screen from GitHub. Maybe that'll work.
I'll ask ChatGPT to code it or something.
Yeah, I could do that too, I suppose. I'm just looking at one here. There's a library that will do it. Um,
They're really proud of their AI systems in here. $97 a month. I mean,
yeah,
and I'm not really sure. I know the AI voice thing's pretty neat, but
we aren't using that one just yet. We are using right now. We're using Thinker
mhm.
for one of our big clients, and we Thinker is good. It's like Thinker THINKRR.ai.
Mhm.
Um, I've been liking them so far. We set up a pretty good voice chat, but we had a really simple one where we had a bit of a unique use case, so we couldn't use high level. But what we wanted to do was we made it so that we're running these ad campaigns, and then we have like essentially a phone number that the customer calls from, like it could be across Canada or the US, and the person will call in from the ad that they see, or a Google ad or something like that, a call extension ad. It goes, calls the AI starts chatting with them, finds out their address, and then from that address we'll go into our database and it'll query it'll find the closest business out of our list of businesses, and then it'll give them the contact details, and then it'll also connect them with that
Oh,
business as well. So you call in, you say, hey, yeah, I'm interested in blah blah blah, and the thing says, okay, great. Can I get your like name, phone number, email? What's your address? Gives them the address. It says, okay, cool. We'll try and connect you with the closest location. Um, then it goes to the database, takes their address, finds out the closest one in proximity to them, and then it says, okay, cool, I'm going to connect you with company ABC. Just hold on for 1 second, and then it'll call ABC, try and connect them with it, and
mm.
if it can, then it'll transfer them to the business. If it can't, then it says, "Hey, sorry, we weren't able to connect you with it. I'm gonna text you the information for the business, and I'm gonna send the business your information as well, so that they can follow up with you. If you don't hear from them within 24 hours, please give them a call with the information I'm texting you, and then it texts them the details,
That's cool.
and it's
What
working. It's working pretty good.
what industry is that in, Jason?
It is in home services. They're a siding manufacturer. So we're working
Oh,
with them, and they work with a bunch of installers. So they produce the siding, but then they work with installers in North America, and they then we run other campaigns. Like we have one big campaign we're running right now that has like 80 different installers across. I think it's mostly across Canada for that campaign. There's 80 different installers in different cities, and you might
yeah.
have multiple installers in the same city. So, for example, Calgary, I think has like, or like Alberta probably has about 20, I think it's 22 installers. Ontario probably has about 25 installers as well. So you have to grab their address, and then with a little bit of, map and programming, you find out what is the closest business to them, and then connect the two of them.
Right.
So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
it's neat. So that's one of the use cases there, and then we also have funnels and everything like that built for them as well. So just there's three different, we send them, there's one option to send them to the funnel to fill out a form to connect with an installer. One of them is through Google, where they can either go to the funnel and fill out their information, or they can just click to call, and then that goes to the AI. And then the other one is like through Facebook or social media, where they'll click on a Facebook lead form or something there, and then from that, then it'll collect their information and send it over to you. And then we have click to call buttons on every page too, because with things like that, especially like the home services one, people don't always want to just fill out a form. Lots of times they just want to pick up the phone and call. Nice thing about that is then you can track all those phone calls, and you can say, hey, we sent all these, we sent this many leads, this many people called, this many people connected with this, and we sent them over to the customer. But we also have it set up so that every lead that comes in through those as well, every time we collect their information, it goes to a Google Doc, so the businesses can easily see and follow up with their customers too.
Very cool.
Yeah, siding.
How does it handle spam?
Well, it just because we have guidelines where we're collecting information, and if we can't collect their information, and we can't collect their address and everything like that, then it kind of buzzes out.
Cool, that's good.
Because there's no point, we can't do anything if we don't collect their address, right? And if we can't collect their address, then we can't do anything either. So we just got to find out where the person is, so we can find the nearest location for them. And we're not really doing anything else other than that in there. So we're not providing a ton of information about the products or services or anything there. That's all on the website. It's more we'll connect you with it's the interesting thing about siding is, and trying to find an installer, it's very specific, right? You're not if you're calling the business to say, hey, I'm interested in a quote for new siding. I was talking to our team about that, and we're saying there wasn't a ton of leads coming in. It's not like you're running an ad for fitness or something like that, right? Oh, we got 400 leads this month, or getting people to sign up for free tacos. It's different because you're well, okay. I was think about the area that we're in. How many people do you think need siding? And then how many people out of those people who need siding are thinking about this brand? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's going to be few. So whereas
you
with
need to be in siding repair.
Yeah, yeah. So when you're thinking of restaurants where we can get leads for $1, the siding stuff is more like $105 a lead kind of thing. But it's like a 20 grand or 5, 10, 20 grand, whatever, contract when those come through. So
that's great though. It's pre-qualifying the leads, and then it's only collecting the relevant information, and it's giving a voice to somebody. So it's a great.
So High Level has added some new voice stuff in there. I haven't had a chance to kind of play with that.
You can play with it for free till September, I think.
Yeah, they're doing the Summer of AI again.
Yeah.
So, which I think is a great one, a great promo that they're doing. And yeah, so we've used it for a few things. Haven't used it for anything like I've seen some people set them up for restaurants or mainly people trying to sell high level and then setting it up for restaurants and being like, oh, you can do this, right? And then they put the prompt in there. The problem with the high level one is, I mean, you can do some stuff, but the prompting is limited. I think you've got like 2,500, words or something that you can put in there, and then especially if you can't reach out to like a database and query a database about um, what's on our menu, and that kind of stuff. You have to have everything inside of that one prompt. So you have to have all the pricing and options and all that kind of stuff. So for restaurants, it doesn't really
No.
work. But I mean, their primary goal is just booking, right? We want to get people booked. We want to answer the phone, answer a few questions, connect them with whoever we got to connect them with, collect their information, and do that kind of thing. So it works well for that, I think, for
What,
sure.
pardon me, do you remember, Jason, what was that thing that Chris and his wife, I forget her name, were saying that lots of their customers were asking for that was, I don't know, somehow they thought that maybe it was with the AI employee but
I think Chris and that were just a lot of people they kind of transitioned to leading with reviews, using like the review cards and doing those kind of review things. He said more people were it was a good foot in the door. That way, I don't remember anything that they were saying about AI.
okay, maybe it wasn't AI, but it was like all the like Clover and the other one that's the mainstay of lots of that systems that lots of restaurants are using.
Oh, just like the point of sale.
Yeah, but there was something on there that they were asking that their customers were asking for and they were asking you if you had it or could put it in or
No,
something.
sorry, I don't remember what that was. Funnily, I
Yeah,
haven't played around with these things. I would like to try them out.
I don't want to use anything that's generating content that I can't train.
Yeah,
I mean, when I train a GPT, I mean, one of the pieces of data is like 240 pages worth of stuff.
yeah.
Really train it.
When I tried I used the funnel AI before to kind of just mess around and see what it gives you, but it's pretty generic.
Yeah.
What content you get in there.
The voice AI sounds cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's good. You seem to have a use case for it, and really,
Yeah.
it's for booking. It's for booking, helping book appointments.
Yeah.
If you can't, somebody calls your business and you don't answer the phone, you can have voice AI pick up, right? It'll answer some questions. It'll help book the call. It'll set an appointment so that you can
Yeah.
follow up with them. At least collect their information from the systems from them so that you can easily follow up with them rather than just letting it go to voicemail or just forgetting about it. At least you have somebody picking up the phone.
I
Some
may
people,
try that with I own an insurance agency as well. I might try that with that because we do get a lot
yeah,
of hang-ups there, and that might help that.
yeah, like that's fine. The reviews AI is great for just like replying to reviews. Is pretty decent. Conversation AI it works good too. I've got that set up on a number of clients' accounts too, just so if people text in or messages come in from social media and stuff, then it answers questions there. That's pretty good. I haven't tried the content AI either. The workflow assistant, AI assistant, might be interesting too. And then I like the idea of the Ask AI, but I like the idea for support anyway.
Yeah, for support. Yeah, I just don't like I said, I give it 4 or 5 different audiences, and I mean the amount of information I give the GPT. It's ridiculous. I probably overdo it, but
Yeah.
it writes good stuff for me. I mean, it does really well. So once I've
Yeah.
trained it right, it just kind of
So
anything
what are
I
you using it for with like 300-page document?
basically I create a marketing assistant for based on the brand,
Okay.
and then it's getting basically a brand blueprint, and then I've got a program called a vertical online marketing analysis. It comes up with like 240 pages of stuff.
Okay.
I'll show you one there. Let's see. Where there's one. So it gives us everything from a brand summary, from what it learns from the brand. It goes and finds who the target audiences are,
Yeah.
brand tone, key messaging pillars. So I can use this to actually create websites as well.
Yeah, that would be way more powerful than what, just the
Yeah,
content.
this thing's like I said, it's like 240 pages of just audience
Yeah.
identification, keywords for the different audiences. It breaks everything down.
So when you load that up, do you ask it to go and find like using that? Do you ask it to go and hey, here's the brand, go find out all this information or
Well, I got a program that puts this together for me. It does a brand
okay.
blueprint, and then I take the brand blueprint and I punch in the factors from the brand blueprint, and then bam, it comes out. I mean, guys are doing these for companies that are charging $1,200 just to do them.
Yeah,
It's a lot of information.
it is. Yeah.
It's overkill. But what I do with it is then throw it into an individual GPT trained to the specific company. So if I need to run some Facebook ads, I'll go, hey, what this is who we want to target. What would be the best audience? And then it'll give me the audience. Then I'll say, okay, well, let's do some let's get some let's create an offer based on that audience. And then it'll create the offer. And I go, all right, now let's create some social media content for Facebook around the offer for that audience. And it'll give you several versions. And then I always say, is that the best we can do? And then it comes up. Sometimes it'll say yes.
Yep. That's it.
Let's
Done.
say I have followed your guidelines, but specifically, this is as good as it gets.
Kier, is that a GPT that you built that you put it in, or which version of Chat GPT are you using on that?
It's a G. Yeah, I use this to train a GPT.
And in your GPT, which version of Chat GPT are you using?
Whatever the latest one is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I pay for my AI
Yeah.
just because it gets used so often. And so yeah, it's a pretty neat little thing. But that's what I don't like about these content AIs that everyone's coming out with. If it's not trained, how does it do? It's just creating generic stuff. It's not.
Yeah, that
Right.
sounds
Yeah.
like
That's
everyone
just
else.
it. I know, it's a lot of stuff in high level. It's like it will do the generic stuff for people who don't know. But then for the people who know want to do more, it's maybe not quite there,
Yeah.
for those kind of things, but they're starting from the bottom and kind of building things up and then slowly adding more, functionality. I guess I think a big part of the balance with high level is how do we make stuff that's, easy to access and user friendly without being too complicated. But also, powerful enough for people to use in the real world. And I think if we start adding in like, and then they might get there where you can start customizing all the things in there. People get easily confused on, especially when they're just starting out. Like, where do I start? How do I do this? Like, there's too many options. I don't know what I'm going to do. So then they just stop using it. So for high level, it's probably just a good balance of where do we get it so that people are using it, but it's not too complicated that there's too many options and people get overwhelmed.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, it already has too many options for most people. When they get in there, they go, "Oh my goodness, I don't know what to do with this."
Yeah. and well, a lot of new people who haven't done marketing and stuff like that, and just try to throw everything, put an offer together that has everything in it, right? Where
Yeah.
a lot of the successful businesses out there are focusing literally on one thing. It's like, hey, they might have three or four things that they do, but they're simple, they're easy to set up, they're scalable. Even with the doing like the voice AI and stuff like that, and so for a good example is even that the conversation AI. You can go in, do a really simple prompt for a business, and you can set it up to start collecting contacts information, contacts information for people who text in or message in or whichever, and then start booking appointments, right? And you don't have to have a lot of information there, but there's not a lot of opportunity for customizing it either. But it works pretty decent, after you train it for a while and go through, say, do this and don't do that, and here's the correct information. We've used it for a number of like.
I just don't see a lot of people using the chat feature on stuff. People want to call the phone. They just want to call the phone.
Yeah, it's mainly you can do it through the website, the little chat bubble.
Yep.
I mean, we have people messaging us that way as well. And then it turns it into a text message and a conversation. You can do it through Facebook and social media. That's probably a little bit better that way, but we find for it probably leans more towards voice, like people calling and asking for information versus texting. And people aren't going to text into the business and ask information. It'll just kind of be the fallback of, I couldn't get a hold of them, so now we're texting, right?
Yep.
Versus wanting to call. I guess it also I am not clued into this a lot, but I wonder where it is with like the younger generations too, who are more used to texting.
They would rather text. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say it depends on the demographic. I think like 50 plus years old, they want to pick up the phone, and like somewhere in between 40 to 50 and younger, they want to text.
Yeah, like I even just think about like ordering a pizza or something like that.
Yeah.
I would rather just pick up the phone and call the place and say, "Hey, I'd like to order 2 pepperoni pizzas, please." Whereas my wife would rather go online and fill out all of her information and then do the online ordering and do that all over phone without talking to somebody and then order it. And then one of the pizza places we order from has like an AI that calls you back to verify that you made the order. And then
oh yeah,
that's such a longer process. It takes you probably, a good 15 minutes to make an order versus, the 5 minutes it takes you to call the business and just order it. So it really
what pizza place is that, Jason?
we're in Kelowna and it's called Pepito's.
Pepito's. Oh, interesting.
Just around the corner. It's a local pizza place. But for example, Domino's, they have their system. We don't every once in a while I'm like, I just want a simple Domino's pizza. They actually have a really good, it's called Brooklyn style. It's got like big pepperonis on it. It's really
good. That is good.
I like those ones. But I like that they have a pretty streamlined system where you can just order and then it goes. Whereas some of the other online ordering stuff, it's like create an account and do this other thing and do these things and whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't like jumping through. Even with we were just on the road for a few weeks there and booking hotels. I would just like call a hotel and be like, "Yo, I need a room," Whereas my wife will like look and then call the hotel, talk to the person about what it's like for parking and whatever else, and then they're like, "Okay, well, I'll book that room for you," and she's like, "No, it's okay, I'll just do it online." And I'm like, "You already had the person on the phone." She's like, "I just want to do it online." So I don't know. Anyways, just different strokes.
Well, there's pros and cons to that, like especially the pizza thing, actually, because we buy pizzas for our business, actually.
Okay, yeah.
And so I'm forced, I would rather just pick up the phone and say, this is what I want, right? But I'm
Yeah.
forced, they basically force me, like, I can't get well, I guess I could get the discount, but they have like Papa John's, right? We order
Yeah.
from Papa John's and they have Papa Dough, which is just, p points that equate into
Right.
dollars, right? And
Yeah.
I can't, there's no way in their system for me to get Papa Dough from ordering unless I order online. And they give pretty good Papa Dough. Like,
And what is Papa
so
Dough? Oh yeah, it's
I'm
their
for,
points. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's points that equates into dollars, right? So I'm
Yeah.
forced, if I want the Papa Dough, I'm forced to do it online. And it takes forever online, but I do it because I want the Papa Dough.
Yeah. That
And
makes
then and
sense.
then same with Domino's too. Actually, we order from them too. And Domino's sometimes they have specials that are
Yeah.
only available online.
Yeah.
Like
Well, yeah. Even I think A&W opened up or had a new thing where you can get the deals, but yeah, it was only through the app. You had to download the app and then you could do it.
yeah. And still it's such a pain in the rear, but yeah, sometimes you just have, they're like training their customers, right? In that
Yeah.
way. So, and yeah, sometimes it takes a while for them to pick up the phone too,
Yeah. So
depending.
yeah, it all depends. I like picking up the phone every once in a while, giving people a call, and then
But
if I can, well, because I've even heard my kids say like, why don't like occasionally they'll be like, why don't you just call? Because one of those text messaging conversations back and forth can take 30 minutes, whereas you can solve some of your problems in like 15 or 2 minutes on a phone call.
yeah, yeah, exactly, right? Well,
So
that's the thing, right? That's you need an AI agent, voice agent that's gonna be able to take care of all of your problems, like for the business in 2 minutes, just like if you're talking to a human. And that doesn't seem like it's always the case um with high levels voice AI.
yeah,
They're not there yet,
no.
unfortunately.
So I think it's coming, and you know what? I've had there's I think it's called SynthFlow.
That thing that you set up with Thinker, Jason,
Yeah.
so are you charging by the lead to that company?
No, they paid. We charged them upfront to build it and have it built. So we kind of partnered with Thinker to do all that. And then we manage it and maintain it and make changes, and we can do that kind of stuff on our end. We worked with Thinker to develop the proximity location thing for the back end of the AI there, uh, and then we just charge them a monthly fee for it
Do you
on
mind
top
me
of it.
asking how much you charge?
I think after the for like the custom programming, I think we charge them about $500 a month
Oh
That's
yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
for it.
To run all of North America.
Yeah, and they're all tied in directly into our ad campaigns and stuff like that too. So we're also charging for like the ad campaigns and the management of all those things as well
Speaking of
too.
that, I got Google calling me right now. They just will not stop.
Yeah, I've had like it's not Facebook, but it's a company that calls themselves. It shows up as Meta on your phone, and then they're like, yeah, uh, we'll run your ad campaigns for you. We'll start the first one for free. And you're like, no, we're Meta. It's like you're not at all. But it's not. I don't know how much of a scam it is, but you look it
Well,
up.
Google has their they call them their ad special. They're just
Yeah,
salespeople, and all they try and do is get you to get a bunch of traffic that doesn't convert into anything, nothing. You know.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so I went into a couple campaigns and I put in exact match phrases, got rid of all their broad keywords and made the
Yeah,
traffic drop.
you have
Okay.
to optimize it.
Well, they will call you every day if you do that. You're
Yeah,
missing out. Your traffic dropped. There's a problem with your ad. There's nothing wrong with my ad. It's actually getting people we want
yeah.
now.
And we just like I was just tracking. It's actually Chandel's birthday today, so if you message her or whatever, say happy birthday. But um, she woke up this morning. She's like, I just fired somebody. I'm like, okay, and she's like, we hired somebody to help us with Google Ads. Um, the way those are set up. And Shan, we're actually tied in with UpHex. So we're using UpHex, and UpHex, if you're part of UpHex, they have really good weekly calls that go over everything from Google to Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and they really know what they're talking about in there, so they can actually help you optimize a lot of your campaigns as well. So we're in there optimizing campaigns, and we hired somebody to help us to do the next step. Like, we create the campaign, we want them to like optimize the kind of thing. And then Chandel was like, I got to do it. They didn't know what Google Tag Manager was. And then they just started clicking on all the Google suggestions, just turning on every time Google suggested something, they were just turning it on. And although a lot of the Google suggestions are like what Kier says, is they want you to spend more money, right? Hey, so you're missing out on this thing over here. Basically, we want you to spend more money, so turn this thing on or add these keywords, but the keywords might not be any good for what you're doing, because they're just broad search keywords, and you're not actually getting somebody to like, you're not getting the right customer in front of you anyways.
No, you get people. The broad keywords are the worst things in the world. Like,
Yeah.
if you're a fence installer, right? You put in fences. You want people looking to build a new fence. They want a fence contract. There's certain words they're going to look for, and then they'll put a broad keyword in there for fence. Well, somebody is looking for a fence post. You're going to come up. Does Lowe's sell fences? You'll come up. I mean, you're getting clicks for just junk that will never convert.
How to stop the neighbor's dog from peeing on my fence?
Yeah, it'll come up. Yeah.
Yeah. All that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then it all comes up. No, it's that's what they do to try and get money.
And those
so that's
suggestions,
why
the suggestions in there, when you hit it, even if you dismiss it, it'll show your score go up. And that's just to make you feel good. But if you go, there's another one of the guys actually showed me this. You go into another part and you see your actual score within their system. You might be at 50% in reality, while the thing's showing you're at 99.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 That's why those things keep coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back, because they just want you to do what they want you to do, because they're, that's how they generate their revenue.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
All right. Well, it was a good chat today. I like what we're kind of went with the AI stuff and everything.
Yeah.
I want to check out. There's a couple other things I want to check out too. So we're using Thinker. I wanted to check out SynthFlow. A couple other people that I really respect in the whole marketing area. They use. They told me about SynthFlow before, and that's supposed to be really good. And I think maybe a little bit more for developers. Allow you to add in more like AI calls and connect with your own backend to do more database stuff, which is kind of neat. And then I've also heard of VAPI, VAPI, Voice API, or VAPI, yeah, Voice API, which is again kind of a more backend, like a little bit more programming. You can do more things with it. But if you're thinking about stuff, Thinker is really good if you want to give it a shout. I really like the guys there, and it's more of a kind of a plug and play system. And one of the things I like about Thinker as well is you can do outbound calling. So you can basically create your campaigns, and then now people that are on your list, you can do outreach to those customers as well. Yeah, which is really neat. So you can get them to, you can get them to buy stuff, you can get them to sign up for things. You can outreach to those customers once you create those campaigns, and you can outline everything in those campaigns too. So that's really neat. Yeah, you have a list of customers now. Once a month, have Thinker call everybody and let them know what promotions are going on or whatever else. That's really neat too.
How do you spell thinker again?
I'll put it in chat here. Thinker.ai.
And synth flow?
Yeah, you had it right. What you spelled there.
Okay.
Yes,
And Vappy.
yeah. Um,
So thanks, Jason. When you were talking about what you're charging for the siding for the thinker,
yeah,
using thinker and stuff, $500 a month,
yeah.
is that just for the thinker part, or that's including your ads and everything?
Oh no, that's just for Thinker.
So you're charging much more than that per month, including ads and everything.
Yeah, I think it's at minimum I think it's $1,500 a month per campaign.
And that's just your charge, not that doesn't include the advertising
That doesn't no
costs from
these
Meta or
guys
whatever.
these guys spend easily over 500 grand a year on ad spend or
Oh yeah.
more.
And you're only charging them $1,500 a month to run their ads?
No, that's per campaign, and we have
Oh, per campaign.
probably we have many campaigns running.
Oh yeah. And you use Upex for that?
No, they're all run by our team.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure 100% on what the numbers are. I don't even know if 1,500 a month is exactly what our contract is with them. But there's we have an interesting system set up because we're constantly doing what we call co-branded campaigns with them. So with the co-branded campaigns, they are, because they're the manufacturer, they partner with other installers and dealers throughout North America, and then we run the ads for those partnership campaigns. So they have people on their team that reach out to, hey, one of the ones we ran was for Home Depot, and it was like, hey, we're selling our stuff through you. We'll do 50-50 split on this campaign. Do you guys want to do it? And then they say, yeah. And then they come up with a budget or whatever it is. And then we run the ads for that campaign, selling the product with the branding of the co-branded customer. So it'll have the business logo, plus it'll have the manufacturer's logo on there too. And then just trying to raise more awareness. So there's quite a few campaigns that are running.
So like the siding place and Home Depot together.
Yeah. So and then there that's just like an example, but like there's a lot of like just smaller installers too who will run campaigns with
Co-branding campaigns with
co-branded campaigns with
That's cool.
those siding installers. It's a really interesting way to run things, because before we talked with these guys, it wasn't really something that was on our radar to do like that. But because they manufacture it and they have all these installers and dealers and everything like that who carry their product, they basically split the cost between that dealer and themselves, and then that becomes like their ad budget. So maybe they'll say, like, for the next 3 months we have $20,000 for ad spend, and then we want to set up these campaigns. So then we'll create the funnels and phone numbers and link everything up and do the Google ads and all that kind of stuff. And then that also include like the ad spend inside of that, plus our management fees for setting up and running everything.
Right.
Good deal.
And then so you do it like when you're doing a certain business in a like in one state or even one city, then you just do it the ads geographically.
Yeah, it would just be for that city because you have an installer, right? I mean, within if you have one installer in a city, depending on the size of the city, then you could probably cover the whole city, kind of thing. Some cities have multiple installers in there, but if you're just running the ads for one installer in that city, then it's just geographically for them. And that doesn't say that they couldn't potentially overlap. With one of our bigger campaigns, they do overlap because there's multiple installers, but there's different basically sales reps for the company that reach out to these other companies and they set up the campaigns. And then once they set up the campaign and get all the budgets and everything all figured out, then they send us off details on, you know, what campaigns are running for who, where, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Cool.
Sounds like a big operation.
It is. Yeah, it's taking up more and more time.
Sounds like some of the ones that I've run away from.
Yeah. Well, you know, with these kind of things, like they kind of start slow. They start smaller, and as you do a good job, they grow.
Well,
kind of thing. So it's all about right now trying to add more people, the right type of people to our team to help handle that kind of stuff as well, and then continue on with everything else as well. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is just finding a couple more of the right people to run the team so that we can continue to manage it without killing ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyways, yeah, it's been good, but and you know, it's interesting, like, you know, we did the agency launch lab stuff where we're talking about just it's almost like the importance of networking, right? Because the way we it's not like we went out and found a contract and then went out and applied for that contract and, you know, bid on it and stuff like that. It was really through local networking where we knew someone and they were getting fed up with the agency that they were using and said, hey, I'd like to try somebody new. And then they tried us, and then they're like, wow, this is completely different than what we were used to. Because we supply more reporting, more statistics. We try to go for leads. We want to go for leads, not whereas the other agency was literally just giving them impressions here, you know, over the last, and they would do reporting once every 60 days. So it was 60 days, you got 1.2 million impressions on all your ad campaigns, you know, versus with us. And I think what they really appreciated was the reporting aspect of it, which I always say is like reporting is so important, is telling them, hey, you know, over the last, you know, 2 weeks, you've got this many impressions, this many leads, this many calls came in, this many people, these many leads connected with the business itself, right? Giving them all those details so they can actually see how a campaign is running, whereas they were used to just like, oh, you know, we got that many impressions, great. You know what I mean?
That's the old branding mentality.
Yeah. So that's what they were doing before. And then once we started giving them the reporting, they're like, what, this is possible? This is possible. We can actually try for leads and show them like how many people called, how many people picked up, you know, how many people actually filled out the form, and how many people we sent over to these individual businesses. They still are more geared towards, you know, their side of things is they're providing the leads, they're helping to provide the leads, they're providing the impressions, they're providing the branding and awareness, and it's up to the business, the other business, the co-branded business, to do the follow-up and actually make the sale, right? So they're not entirely focused on the conversions of things, because that's up to the business that they're partnering with for that. But the leads and everything are coming from us. So
that's really cool.
Like to see that. Yeah. Well,
this Thinker looks neat. I'm gonna look into it.
Thinker is good. I think they're out of Vancouver or something like that. And then they got referred to them by, I don't know if you, Cody and Raul. They do the GSD get shit done.
Yeah.
And then I think
Oh,
there's
that's who Thinker is the guy.
no, they're not. They're not. They're not. That's not them. But they um
They're promoting Thinker.
yeah, they're promoting them kind of thing. And then we just we Chandel and I reached out to a number of people that we know and said, hey, like, what are you guys using? And I think Raul recommended and said that they're using Thinker for a lot of their things. And then yeah, like I talked to Johan, who runs White Label Suite out
Yeah.
of Australia, and he said they use SynthFlow for all their AI stuff. And then I talked to another guy that I know who does real estate marketing. They've been using Vappy. So
Cool.
No.
We'll look at all
Yeah.
these things. Thank you very
Okay.
much.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, enjoy your Thursday. I'm gonna go see what my wife wants to do for her birthday here.
Right.
Get some stuff.
Yeah. Thanks
Wish
so
her
much,
happy
Jason.
birthday.
Appreciate
All
it.
right. We'll talk to you guys
Yeah.
soon. Okay?
Tell
Thanks.
Chandel we said happy birthday.
I will for sure.